Hi guys, so you would imagine a channel that goes by the name Gammon Brexit News would actually understand Brexit. Okay, that's a bit of a stretch, but they would understand aspects of Brexit. Well, no, sorry, you'd be mistaken, deeply so. Here one of the presenters gets pretty much everything wrong when she complains about the UK government's decision to stop using the B word, something I covered in a video recently. Let's jump in.
Pretty obvious that most of the words on that list are offensive. But the term Brexit, really? Now, the 31st of December 2020, which was the day the Queen signed the European Union Act and sealing the deal on a new partnership, that's why they determined that that is the date. But how is that word in any way offensive?
Nobody's suggesting, this has to be parody, okay? Nobody's suggesting that Brexit is offensive. Who's suggesting that it's offensive? Look, the UK government have decided we don't want to use the B word anymore because of the problems related to it. We understand that support for Brexit is going down all the time. It's not because it's offensive like some other words. It's been removed because it's politically toxic. That's why, not because it's an offensive word. The whole concept of Brexit, yes, is offensive, but the word itself, no.
They've also decided that they're not comfortable with the phrase transition period, a term they themselves made up.
Who is they? This is Boris Johnson we're talking about. Boris Johnson's government. Yes, Whitehall, in charge of the civil servants, but they get their marching orders from the government, from Boris Johnson at the top. Boris Johnson is responsible here. I don't know who this they she's talking about.
Instead, they would like us to call that bit the dates during which the UK negotiated its departure from the EU.
They would like us. Who is us? This is an internal document. This is for members of the civil service, not people on GB News. Like, it's not... They're not taking Brexit away from you. This is rules, or guidance, I should say, within Whitehall, within the UK government, who are deciding, look, we want to stop using the word Brexit because it's not very popular at the moment. And if we ignore, this is the way this government is operating. Dominic Cummings is probably at the core of this. He's no longer there, but aspects of what he has been, spreading, these seeds that he's been planting over the last number of years are bearing fruit. This idea of we just manipulate the public or manipulate people within the service. Stop using the B word because it's toxic. It's damaging us politically. So if we stop talking about Brexit using the B word, then it might save our skins.
Oh, it sounds so civil. It was anything but that. Shall we just call it the bit where politicians of all parties turned us into a laughingstock?
Well, who's us? Because I don't think Britain is a laughingstock. The UK government is a laughingstock. Boris Johnson is a laughingstock. Brexit has turned Britain in a sense, but not the British people. There is still respect for the British people in Europe. There isn't respect for the Tories. There isn't respect for Brexiteers.
When they tried every tactic known to mankind to upturn a democratic vote.
Who? Who tried to upend a democratic vote? Who are you talking about here? Boris Johnson? Because once again, Boris Johnson is responsible, eventually, for this change. So are you suggesting that Boris Johnson and his government tried to undo Brexit in some way?
When democracy left British politics and self-interest ruled, where a supposedly neutral speaker nailed his colours to the mast and we all got to see the madness that is.
So she's suggesting here that John Bercow, let me get this straight, John Bercow is responsible for Boris Johnson's government deciding not to use the B word anymore. How insane is that? Or maybe I'm the one who's insane here. This is Gammon Brexit News. They don't understand Brexit. Maybe they understand gammons. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.